Howdy folks, today I'm going to show you how to mod your 2005 Battlefront 2, and this is the GOG, Steam, or DVD version, to have a bunch of improvements and stock fixes and how to really kind of set up your game with all of the fixes and things that have been released over the years. And this all started from a document I made in 2013, kind of going over the same things, and I've been kind of updating it over the years. And so I just want to show sort of all the things I found that can improve your install and just make it a better experience. So the first thing is I'll show you what a stock install looks like. So over here you have your game folder that is installed when you install the game, and you can see there's a bunch of shortcuts and things like that. There's a manual. And then there's also the game data folder, which is actually where everything really happens. And it includes all of the files and stuff for your game. And then now, originally you would just add a folder called add-on to the game data folder. But there's also been the unofficial patch which was released 20 years ago that expands sort of the functionality of mods. And so the first mod we're going to install is Anakin's Remastered, and this mod not only installs the unofficial patch, but it adds improvements like saving your instant action settings between matches. It adds scripting support. It restores the AI heroes that were only present on the console and PSP versions, and it just improves the UI so that way when you're running at 1080p, it looks correct and it doesn't look sort of low resolution. So yeah, you just browse to your game data folder and install it, and this is kind of what it looks like. So here you can raise your AI count, hit save match options, hit accept, and then that will save it going forward. So yeah, the next mod, this is what a stock Geonosis looks like, and then this is what this Geonosis Sky Dome fix looks like. So the way you do it is you go into your game data level PC, and you just drag and drop it and replace the stock Geonosis level file. So the next one we're going to do is a fix for the feed map. So on this stock map, you can see there's always been a bug where AI run over here and they get stuck. And so it kind of puts the Republic at a disadvantage because you have a couple guys over there constantly getting stuck. And here's the fix where they remove that path. So now the AI no longer go over there and get stuck. So same process. In the data level PC, go to the Naboo folder, drag and drop, replace the level. Alright, so the next one I'm going to show you is the water fix to Kashyyyk, and this is all preference of course, but this is what the PC version looked like, and this is what the Xbox version looks like, and more what the movie had. It was more of a gray water. So same process, go to the CAS folder for Kashyyyk, drag and drop, and just update it. And all of these still maintain multiplayer compatibility, so you won't desync. So here's what a stock Tatooine Mos Eisley looks like, and then we're going to show what a Xbox ground texture look like, and I think it looks a lot better, so I'm gonna drag, drop, and replace it. So pretty simple stuff. Alright, so the next one is the Kamino Central Platform fix. It always looked low resolution, so this fixes that. Just a real minor fix, but most of the fighting happens around that central platform, so it is kind of an important object. So it's nice to get that one fixed. Alright, and so now one of the coolest additions that's happened recently is that's the Memory Extender. And yeah, you kind of need a decent PC for this, but You can see on this modded map, Coruscant Droid Invasion, you see how the objects are kind of like loading in, and that's because they have no low resolution mesh, and so they load in at their full resolution. And so this memory extender actually makes them load in from much further distance at their full, I guess, geometric detail. It also improves things like getting rid of the mission limit, and which had a limit of 500 missions, so you were kind of limited on which mods you could run. So you just, hit patch, go to the executable, and then click it, and you're done. And it also adds various memory improvements to the sound pool, so you can have mods that have tons of sounds. I don't think there are any right now that utilize that, but it just adds more functionality and increases the memory overall for the game. So definitely worth installing. Okay, one thing I forgot when I was originally recording, to get rid of the mission limit fully, you have to additionally go into the add-on folder, go into the AAA 1.3 patch folder, and then either delete or move this addme.script somewhere well outside of the game folder, otherwise it'll still get picked up, and that will completely remove the mission limit pop-up that you see. So here's the sides mod. So you can see this Magna Guard blows up and there's B1 droid parts. And so this improved stock sides version, slightly better stock sides version 6. You go to your level PC side folder, you drag and drop and replace all those. And this mod just, fixes many minor details and corrects many things. Now, sides mods, a lot of people love them because they're a way to customize any map that utilizes stock eras, and they can get pretty crazy, so they're always worth looking into. You can look around. There's other ones like ones that add cockpits, ones that add better multiplayer, how should I say it? Better visuals to multiplayer. That it removes the screen shake, and it adds a shotgun bullet, so that way you can see the shotgun that is more accurate to what's actually going on. There's another one that adds voices to multiplayer, which were removed. Then there's one for if you're playing on widescreen and you play in first person. The game was designed for 4x3. So a lot of the models cut out. So there's a mod that extends the models, that way they look better. So you can only have one sides mods installed at a time. So you kind of have to pick one that most impacts your game and whatever way you like playing. So I like slightly better stock sides. And links for everything are in the description of this video. Anyway, moving on. This is a optional one where you can have the Star Wars Battlefront 1 Temuera Morrison voiceover. So this one's a little more complicated. The first part we're going to do is go back into data level PC. And because the Anakin Remastered mod also has some sound improvements, you want to choose the Anakin Remastered version of this mod. So we're just going to go into it, and then we're going to go into the data level PC sound folder. And then I'm not sure exactly what the Sniper Sounds one is doing. Maybe it corrects the Sniper Sound. But anyway, go into sound, and then we're going to add the new sound file to it. Alright, and then now we're going to go and get the actual optional voiceover mod, and we're going to drag that also into the sound folder. And then we're going to add the user script. You want to use the lowest one that you have, because mods often have user scripts, or sometimes they do. So you don't want to replace it, so you want to add another one. And so the one downside is this mod, the Battlefront 1 Temuera Morrison voiceovers don't support all of the heroes in the game, and so you do lose some voice functionality. But you know, if you're feeling nostalgic, you can have that, or you can take out the user script when you don't want it to run, and you can go back to using the stock announcer, who's actually Sev from Republic Commando. If you didn't know that, which is kind of cool. So the next mod is the EAX Restoration. So you can see when I call this guy out over here, you can hear like reverb in this giant hallway. And so EAX used to work, and over the time of Windows updating, it deprecated, so no longer works. So this is how you restore it. You have to make a registry file. You just name it .reg, and you copy and paste from the text file the command. Then you run the registry file. I already ran it. And then after that, you're going to go into this dsol folder, and then you're going to choose, I believe, the 32-bit version, because the exe is 32-bit. It's not 64 like the classic collection. And you drag and drop the necessary files into the game data folder. Alright, so the next mod we're going to show is, well, actually, let me just show the EAX actually working. So you go to your options, and then you want to enable 7.1 and hardware, and then you can see, and then you want to enable effects. But you can see down there it's all lit up now. Okay, so now another cool mod that was added, I don't know, a couple years ago, is the shader patch. So yeah, you just open the installer, hit browse to your executable, click the executable, and that'll install the files. And then you can go through it and improve the settings. Now another thing I like to do is use the Harrison Fog preset. So you just drag that into the game data folder. And then this mod, this preset really improves the detail of the game. I like it a lot. That's why some of the levels have been looking so much more detailed in the after clips that I've been showing. So take the name, go to, well, here, let me just change the anti-aliasing. For some reason, SSAO only works when you use MSAA for me for some reason. But anyway, yeah, you put it in the, you copy and put it in the user config area, and then that will enable it. And now I'm going to show probably one of the more important parts of the shader patch, which is the SSAO. So well, you can see just how it looks great here. But anyway, so I'm going to go over to these rocks, and SSAO is like the ambient occlusion, and you can see at the bottom edges of the rocks it's kind of shadowy. So if you hit backslash, and I have to change it to MSAA, maybe you don't, but you can see how when I toggle it, you can see the shadow, the ambient occlusion is added, and that really adds a lot more depth to all the objects in the game, and I think it improves the graphics and detail just a little bit. So I think it's worth installing. Also, let me add the set AI difficulty command if you go to code console and fake console. And then I have a whole video on this, but this is how you can improve the difficulty of your game by changing the values. The first is your team, the second is the other. So now if I run around here, the AI will be a lot more accurate and deadly. You have to do this every map you want to do it, but if you're interested in that, watch my AI difficulty video, and I kind of go more into depth on how to do that, but I just wanted to show it. So let's see here. So finally, if you want, you can add a map pack, which adds a bunch of maps and just kind of makes the add-on process go by more easily. So I have one. You can use it if you want, or just download mods. But basically, to install most mods, you just toss them in the add-on folder, and that's basically what I just did. So now you can see I have all these mods installed to this game, and of course, modded maps really have the ability to expand on the stock experience. So I'll just show right here. This is a great map called Coruscant Modern Warfare. I made a video on this like 10 years ago or something. So yeah, you can see this map has tons of cool features. Like this is a custom hangar, probably in the more proper area of a Star Destroyer, and then you have like a full sky to ground map, and then you have totally custom modeled city, custom units, things like that. So anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But this is kind of the quick, down and dirty way to set up your Battlefront 2 to have an improved experience, and kind of the list of mods I install whenever I'm setting up a new install. So anyway, if you like this video, leave a comment. Like, if you have any improvements. Also, I'm interested if you know of any other mods. Shout out to Arion, I think his name is, for kicking this whole process off with a bunch of sort of stock fixes about 10 years ago. And so anyway, have a good one. Thanks.